This little stick can break bones, destroy joints, and end an assault in seconds if you know how to use it. The Kubotan isn't a keychain. It's a concealed weapon with a legal edge. And in the hands of someone who's trained, it becomes a street-level equalizer. And in this video, I'm going to show you why the Kubotan is one of the most underrated and most effective self-defense tools ever created. Let's check it out. Before we start, let's get one thing straight. Most Kubotans sold today are useless junk. Plastic toys, cheap aluminum, gimmicks with sharp tips that get you flagged or arrested. That's why I designed my own Kubotan. Solid steel, no tip, clean profile. It's discreet, devastating, and legal in most states when used correctly. Now, this isn't a novelty. It's a weapon of street survival. Now, I don't sell it. I don't mass produce it. I built it to do the right job for me. Because when my life's on the line, I don't trust gimmicks. Be warned, if your Kubotan doesn't meet specific performance specs, it won't just fail. It could get you seriously hurt. Now, in my book, Kubotan Power, I break down exactly what to look for in a street-effective Kubotan, how to choose the right one, and how to use it effectively under real-world combat conditions. I'll put a link in the description down below if you'd like to check it out. And yes, some tactical flashlights can be used as a Kubotan substitute, but only if they meet very specific combat specs. I also break those down inside the book, so you're not relying on a gimmick that fails when your life is on the line. Now, if you prefer to watch video instruction, watch my full feature video, Kubotan Self-Defense. It covers everything you need to know about deploying the weapon under chaos and pressure. It's available for sale on my website at sammyfranco.com. And if you're a War Machine Elite member, you can stream it for free inside the members only section of this channel. And if you're not already a member, click the join button below to see all the perks and membership options we have available. Also, for my War Machine, Vanguard, and Elite members, I've included a bonus downloadable PDF titled Kubotan Combat Specs. It's located inside the members section of this channel. It breaks down the critical specs your Kubotan must meet to be combat effective so you're not walking around with a false sense of security. In my contemporary fighting arts system, the Kubotan is far more than just a keychain. It's a multi-purpose weapon with 5 distinct combat roles. First, it serves as a control and restraint tool, allowing you to dominate joints, limbs, and pressure points without escalating deadly force. Second, it acts as an impact weapon, concentrating force into a small, unforgiving surface that can break bones and shut down attacks instantly. Third, it functions as an anchoring and trapping tool, giving you the leverage to manipulate your opponent's limbs at close range. Fourth, it doubles as a raising weapon, especially when paired with my Widowmaker methodology, targeting soft tissue, facial planes, and sensory organs to create cognitive overload and disable any attacker. And finally, it works as a fist-loading tool, reinforcing your strikes and turning bare-knuckle punches into devastating power shots that break through your body's natural shock absorption. 5 purposes, 1 weapon. That's why the Kubotan belongs in the hands of anyone serious about real-world self-defense. Before we dive into the techniques, understand this. I'm only going to show you a handful of moves in this video. The Kubotan has far more depth than most people realize, and what you're about to see is just the tip of the iceberg. Let me clarify something for some of you EDC guys who carry tactical pens. A tactical pen is not a Kubotan. You do not want a point when using a Kubotan. We don't want a puncturing tool. We want a tool that actually causes damage to bone structure. This is going to pierce through the skin and put holes in somebody. This is going to shatter bone and make them incapacitated in a second. So again, do not think that a tactical pen can be used like a kubotan. These are two different animals. There are several different stances you need to master to get the most benefit out of the kubotan. First, we have the low concealment position. Now, this is used in the neutral zone during the pre-contact stages of self-defense. Tommy? So Tommy's an assailant. He's in the neutral zone. Perhaps he's threatening me. I'm holding the kubotan, and what I'm doing is I'm concealing it. I'm concealing it behind the forearm. And if you notice, guys, I have it a little bit against the thigh. The other hand is up just in case he rushes forward. But the idea is I can also move my hand up to the waist just so long as the kubotan is being concealed. The idea is I don't want him to know that I actually have the kubotan in my hand, okay? Now, again, if it's in a dark environment, he's never going to see it. But again, we don't want to tip him off. You always want the element of surprise. So this is called a low concealment position. Again, the hand could be on the waist or it could be down by your thigh. It's the low concealment position. Okay, so we're going to have Tommy demonstrate the low concealment position, and I'm going to critique it. Go ahead, Tommy. Okay, back up a little bit more for the camera. Okay, first thing is the front hand is up. His body needs to be a little bit wider at a 45-degree angle stance for balance and stability. Okay. Now look at the hand positioning. You don't want to put it behind your back. Tommy, put it behind your back. A lot of beginners make that mistake. That is something that is going to trigger your adversary. They're going to think something's up. Okay, so you don't want to hide it behind your back, and you don't want to put it against your waist and it looks like you're drawing a firearm, okay? Because he has no idea what you're carrying, okay? Very important. Just be natural. Use your forearm to block and conceal the kubotan. Or you can have it a little bit resting against your thigh. That's fine. Nothing more than that, guys, because again, it can work against you if you're really looking like you're concealing something. That's really good what he's doing right there. Keep going, Tommy. And this is something you practice in the mirror again and again and again until it becomes a natural component of your self-defense response using a kubotan. Good. Hands are up. Good. And again, you're talking, you're gesticulating. Right. Very good. Next, we have the high concealment position. So this is when the adversary confronts you in either punching or grappling range. What we're going to do is we're going to have, again, the kubotan is concealed behind the forearm. The keys will dangle on the outside. And what you're going to do is you're going to have your hands together. You're going to gesticulate. You're going to try to talk to him, communicate. Now, again, the idea is not to fully hide the kubotan. That's not realistic. It's not practical. But the idea is we don't want to brandish it so obviously to the adversary. So what we want to do is keep it concealed behind the hand as we talk and communicate. Even if you're de-escalating, you can keep it here in your hand like this. But the idea is the high concealment position just tries to take it out of his line of sight. We don't want him to focus on that, okay? We want him to focus on you, so when you do deliver it, you're gonna have that element of surprise. So we're gonna have Tommy demonstrate the high concealment position. Now keep in mind, he has no experience with the kubotan. He is a beginner, just like you guys. Here you go, Tommy. Now it's important when he does it, he gesticulates, right? Scratches his elbow, shrugs his shoulder, but keep in mind that you must have your body angled at a 45-degree angle stance, knees bent, 50-50 weight distribution, because you never know when violence is going to erupt, and you need to be in a structure that will allow you to deploy the weapon effectively, efficiently, and safely. Keep going, Tommy. There you go. That's right. And this is something you guys can practice at home in front of a mirror. And don't be obsessed with hiding the kubotan. You just don't want to make it so obvious to him, okay? You want him to focus on you and not the actual weapon. Next, I'm going to show you is how to transition from a low concealment to a high concealment position. So here we have the low concealment position in which we're diffusing a situation in the neutral zone. Let's say he starts encroaching upon us into the punching or grappling range. What we're going to do is we're going to transition like this. Again, we're concealing the kubotan as best we can as we try to diffuse the situation with him. So again, low concealment position, we subtly bring it up, and now we have high concealment position. Now, for some of you at home, I know you might feel that stances are a bit fundamental and unnecessary. You couldn't be more wrong. These stances are critical during the go, no-go stages of self-defense, the pre-contact stage of self-defense. It's critical that you practice these stances until they become natural and instinctual. As I stated earlier, there are many different ways you can use a kubotan. One of the ways you can use it is an impact weapon. Tommy, come on out. Now, there are a variety of targets that you can strike. Keep in mind that the target that you strike can be classified as deadly force. That's correct. A kubotan like this, if you drive this into someone's temple, someone's throat, the base of the skull, it is a deadly force technique. You can kill somebody with this. If you strike somebody deliberately into the eye, you can blind them permanently. It's your responsibility to make certain that your actions are legally justified in the eyes of the law. It's important to mention that the targets you strike must be bony targets located close to the surface of the skin. That's where the true power of the kubaton comes into play. So here are some of the impact targets you can attack. We have the eyes, we have the throat, we have the temple, we have the collarbone, we have the solar plexus, we have the hands, the elbow, Tommy bends forward, the base of the skull, or anywhere down the spinal line. These are ideal striking targets for the kubaton. One of the best training tools are the body opponent bag. This is ideal for developing kubaton strikes. Now, this is just another reason why you never want to use a kubaton with a pointed edge, because again, we don't want a puncturing weapon. We want something that causes trauma, blunt force trauma to the target. And if you use a pointed edge, you're going to destroy this body opponent bag. So we're going to have Tommy come out. He's going to use a high concealment position, and I'm going to call out various targets. Okay, Tommy. Good stance. Good. Conceal it a little bit. Relax. Okay, eyes. Good. He comes back to the stance. Eyes. Faster and harder. Eyes. 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 Keep in mind, you do this in a real situation, you're going to blind them permanently. You better make certain your actions are justified. Tommy, let's go to the throat. Deadly force technique. Good. Concealment. Relax. Conceal more. There you go. Relax your shoulders. Throat. Throat. Good. Harder. Throat. That's it. Use that elbow and snap. That's it. Temple. 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 Okay, let's go to the eyes. Throat. Temple. Collarbone. Collarbone. Solar plexus. Solar plexus. Temple, collarbone, eyes, throat. One important caveat about the body opponent bag is that it doesn't give you resistance, because when you strike with a kubaton, there is shock impact. You're hitting bony targets. So it's important to also strike hard surfaces. In contemporary fighting arts, we have a tool called the bullock, and that is made out of locust wood. It's a head, and it's made out of one of the hardest woods ever imaginable, locust wood. And I have my students striking it full force. This tests the structural integrity of the grip and making certain that they really can handle the force and impact of striking a bony target. There are a wide range of kubaton techniques against various grabs, chokes, and holds. Now, because YouTube viewers have limited attention spans, I'm just going to reduce it just to 2. Just keep in mind that if you really want to see the full spectrum of counters using a kubaton, check out my video, Kubaton Self-Defense. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to counter a 2-hand wrist grab from a high concealment position. Tommy, come on out. So I'm in the high concealment position. Tommy's confronting me at the punching grappling range, and he decides to grab both hands. To counter this, I'm going to take my left hand and grab his wrist. From here, I'm going to take the kubaton, the point of it, and I'm going to line it up with the wrist, and I'm going to drive it down. Again, high concealment position, Tommy grabs both. I grab the wrist, line it up, and drive it straight down. Again, take them all the way down to the ground. This is excruciating. Can you confirm that?
Yes.
And it's an excruciating technique. Again, this is a technique, it's a pressure point technique. You're actually being nice to the guy. You're not obliterating him with a kubaton. It all depends on the use of force justification. This is just one of the counters you can employ with the kubaton. So that previous technique is against somebody like your drunk uncle at a party. You don't want to obliterate him, but let's try to escalate it a little bit. Tommy's going to grab me in the high concealment position, and we're going to escalate the use of force response. So high concealment position, he grabs both. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hand and I'm going to slap the inside, hold a little tighter. I'm going to slap the inside, and this gap right here is where the vulnerability from his grip is. So from here, I come here and I strike. Again, it's a fist loading weapon now. I can punch with it, or if I really want to cause severe damage, I can strike. Again, high concealment position, he grabs, hands come across, slap, and then I strike. There's no way he's going to be able to hold on to this. Tommy, let's say for example, Tommy gets, I get caught by surprise. He grabs one of my hands low. Again, we could strike him with the fist. we could strike him with a kubaton, but we can also destroy his hands. So what we're going to do from here is we raise our hands up, he grabs the wrist, and we strike repeatedly until he lets go. This is going to destroy his hands. The benefit of this is that he can no longer throw a punch because his hand is now broken. This kubaton is going to shatter bone. Now, as you saw in the previous footage, Tommy did not expect me to hit him that hard. Keep in mind that he's wearing street hockey gloves, which has a lot of protection, and the kubaton still went through. So when practicing with a training partner, you do not want the tail of the kubaton to strike him. You want to close it up with the hammer fist. So when we practice, we actually hit like this for safety purposes. He grabs the wrist, the hands are up. We're going to strike down. Again, the tail is not exposed. We hit and he pulls the hand away. The only time the tail is exposed, the tail of the kubaton, is in real combat. One important warning you have to consider: never put your fingers through the keyring hole. You are going to have a degloving injury. Now, I don't want to get demonetized, so I'm not going to put up images of what it looks like. You can Google it if you want to check it out. You do not want to put the finger through because in the course of combat, in the course of the struggle, if he gets hold of that kubaton, he will strip the flesh and the skin right off your finger, exposing nothing but bone. Do not put your fingers through the keyring hole. The kubotan isn't just a keychain, it's a survival tool, but only if you train with it the right way and choose the right one. Cheap gimmicks will fail you, but the right knowledge will not. If you want to take this to the next step, check out the links to my book Kubotan Power and my full-length video Kubotan Self-Defense. And if you're really serious about learning real combat training, consider joining my War Machine memberships, because we don't teach theory, we teach what works when your life's on the line. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next video.